Hello, 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 my wonderful students. So glad you're here today. So glad you're here today. All right, so today we're talking about paraphrasing. I got my Christmas glasses on, getting ready for Christmas break. So glad to see you. All right, so here we have a reindeer. He's got a little snow on his snout. He's chilling in the snow. It makes me miss the snow. And we miss our Chicago family. Sending love to all. All right. The happy reindeer. If I look up, it's because I have a computer screen as well, a monitor, two monitors to help me with this. And my voice is a little wonky today after teaching a few sessions online. All right, so our warm up today is uh, tell us one fun fact about animal intelligence that you would like to share. So I want you to go ahead and raise your hand to use a microphone. I need to hear your voice to know your voice in your writing. So I want you to use your voice so that I can hear your voice in your writing. And we're going to share it with our friends, right? Tell us one fun fact about animal intelligence. So we'll go ahead and set that timer for about 2 to 3 minutes and we'll share out. Some of the wonderful things that my students are telling me, they're learning so much about lots of different animals. We have students doing foxes, um, dolphins, whales, cats, dogs, pigs, rats, elephants, all sorts of animals. It is a fun research project indeed. All right, so I'm handing you a cup of hot cocoa through the screen. Cheers. At my brick and mortar school, sometimes I would make my students hot cocoa, and I'm going to share that with you. So we have the peppermint stick there. We have the sprinkles on the hot cocoa. It is a wonderful time of the year. All right, so we did our warm up, whoop whoop, and the rest of the agenda is as follows. We're going to talk about our class expectations, state standards, the weekend statement, paraphrasing, and the ticket out the door. All right, so there is the Grinch. And he is cranky. It's easy to be cranky at this time of year. But what I'm going to encourage you to do is check your cranky at the door. Check your cranky at the door. And I need to be mindful of this too because I can get cranky too. So we're going to check our cranky at the door when we sign into our class because the world is definitely tough enough. And we want to encourage one another to create a safe space where we can share and grow together. And also, I want you guys to eventually peer edit one another's writing. So I want you to attend class every time, participate, and be encouraging to one another. Okay, belief statement. Usually I have a student read this, but I'm going to go ahead and read it for you for today. And excuse my voice is a little wonky. All right, let's talk about our belief statement. I am extraordinary. I matter. I am loved. I will learn something every day, even if it's just a little bit. If I don't know something or didn't learn something, it's not my fault. My learning coach, my family, my teacher, and I are a team. Saying what I feel and think and asking questions creates connections, and connections are life. My teachers will never give up on me because they care about me. We care about you and we want to help you achieve your dreams. All right, so happy December, everyone. This month's mindset is live and let's give. Be kind to one another. We see snorkeling Santa there with a giant sunfish. All right, so I want you to take a moment to think, pair, share. What are some ways that we can show kindness to one another? Go ahead and set that timer. Think, pair, share. What are some ways that we can show kindness to one another? We can show kindness by maybe drawing a picture for grandma and grandpa, helping mom and dad out with the dishes, showing kindness to one another. All right, standards focus. Students will be able to demonstrate an understanding of the following. And these are your Common Core goals for 6th grade. Write routinely over extended time frames, time for research, reflection, and revision. And write in shorter time frames, such as a single sitting or a day or two, for a range of discipline-specific tasks, purposes, and audiences. Next, we have gather relevant information from multiple print and digital sources. Assess the credibility of each source and quote or paraphrase the data and conclusion of others while avoiding plagiarism, and provide basic bibliographic information for sources. All right, the weekend statement. Usually I have a student read this, but I'm going to go ahead and read it for you today. We can paraphrase an author's ideas for our research papers. We can. Shout out to Rudolph there. That was one of my favorite stories when I was little. I especially loved seeing the movies around the holidays. All right, so when we're not plagiarizing, when we're paraphrasing, we're avoid plagiarizing. We borrow and we don't steal. What do we do when we borrow something? Well, we take good care of it. Like, for example, if we borrow a sweater, we may add our own style, such as adding earrings or funky glasses or a belt. The same is true with ideas. We express what we borrowed in a way that is unique. Then we return it better than it was. When we borrow ideas, we return them to the world to enlighten others by using our voice, our perspective. All right. So paraphrasing is when you retain the author's original ideas, but you state them in your own words. Here's some strategies for paraphrasing. I want you to go ahead and read the sentences or the paragraph. You're going to ask yourself, what are the most important details? You can underline them or highlight them. And then you're going to put those details into your own words. All right, so here's an example. We're going to do I do, we do, and you do. And you can also use these in the breakout rooms as well. So you're looking at what the text says. For example, this is from a Time for Kids article. It says, skunks have a stinky secret. They spray a bad odor. It keeps predators away. So I wrote it in my own words and I put, to keep predators away, skunks spray a stinky stench to make them run away. So I put that in my own words. All right, so let's go to the next one. We have fish swim in big groups. The groups are called schools. Predators are confused by so many fish. Then they swim away. Again, another article from Time Kids. So I'm going to share out a screenshot from some of the examples from some of my students. Marcus wrote, school fish are a big group that watch each other's backs. And he put there, but I'm going to change it to each other's. So school fish are a big group that watch each other's backs. I love this. I thought it was really clever because, yeah, they do watch each other's backs when they're swimming all together. They're protecting one another as a community. And then we have, like they're one big family together, helping one another out. School fish are a group of fish that keep predators away. Good. And one thing I want you to notice about that sentence, while it's a wonderful sentence, I want to encourage you to actually write out the words. We see that some of my students will write like they're texting, and I love that for the efficiency of time. But when we're writing in school, we want to be mindful of scholarly writing. So I want you to spell out each word. Instead of writing R, you're going to write A-R-E. Justin writes, schools swim together to confuse the predators so that they just swim away because there are too many fishes. I thought that was a great Great paraphrasing there. Wyatt writes, predators get mixed up when they come across schools of fish, which is a bunch of fish. Yes, which are a bunch of fish. Awesome, wonderful job. Okay. The next one is the Arctic is one of the coldest habitats on Earth. Animals there have thick fur. Some of them have a layer of fat to keep them warm. Here's how Arctic animals survive. And I love how that last sentence, it kind of guides the reader. Okay, this is what we're going to be talking about. Here's how. And then they're going to explain that. All right, here's an example of some of the ideas from some of my work. And we have what's called rainbow participation, where I encourage my students to use a different color each. And some of our students need to be mindful of that in the upcoming lessons, to pick that different color, because we want to have a rainbow of participation. All right, so there are some examples there. Cannon writes, Arctic animals are fat and furry to stay warm. Justin writes, animals who have thick furs with thick fat layers live in the Arctic. These places are very cold and only polar bears survive here or can live here. So while Justin wrote a really great sentence for the first one, I encourage Justin to go ahead and do a fact check, because there are many animals besides the polar bears that live there, which is interesting. So go ahead and make sure when you're writing something that you check your facts. But great summary for the first sentence. Animals who have thick furs with fat layers live in the Arctic. White writes, most animals have thick fur and a layer of fat to help them survive in the Arctic. And let me get the magnifier for the little ones. The Arctic is one of the coldest habitats on Earth. They also have fur to keep them warm in the cold, and that's by Thomas and Marina. And there are animals that have really warm fur, and they use it to keep warm and survive in the cold and to live while they're in the cold. So we're going to also work on run-on sentences as well when we paraphrase, because we want to keep it complete sentences and not fragments or run-ons. Fragments are incomplete sentences, and run-ons are a whole bunch of sentences that are put together. So we're going to keep working on those skills as well. But awesome, awesome paraphrasing. You've got the main idea from your authors and you're saying it in your own words. I wish that you guys could hear the live sessions of my classes when they're expressing it verbally too as well. All right, so you can have the graphic organizers as well to share out in breakout rooms. And so that leads us to our ticket out the door. Ticket out the door for today is to write or raise your hand to grab the microphone and share out one thing you've learned about paraphrasing. You will be excused once I dismiss you, so I'm going to listen to you and read your thoughts on paraphrasing, and then I'll excuse you once I see that you've got a correct answer. I want to thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Do something kind for your families today. Bye.